Welcome back, everybody. It is another Friday night, and we are cooking with gas. I am so excited. I found some really good stuff this week. So, uh, yeah, I almost went live earlier because I'm kind of excited tonight. So, glad to see everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're new here, I'm Sly, uh, and we do this every Thursday night. So, but tonight I'm getting ready to go on vacation, and so hence the little bit of excitement there. Uh, Next week I leave not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. So, and there's Scott. Hello, friends. Hi, Mom. Hi, Scott. Oh, your mom's here? Thought you were calling me Mom. A lot of people do. Yeah, a lot of people do. Nowadays it's kind of granny, but Mom works too. So I've been I got some new stuff this week, so I'm kind of excited about that. One of them is the cutest little thing ever. So I showed you guys this tripod last week from Timu, and I do like it, but it didn't have a ball head. And so I got so much stuff on here. So this is the mount for the action camera that has the, see if I can get it on there. Almost, almost. Cover the eyes. Don't look at the eyes. It's got the magnetic mount for the action camera, so it just clicks right on there. And then this is how the tripod came, and there's no ball head. So I like it, and it's fine because really with this, you really don't need a ball head that much because you can tilt it up or down. But is this not the cutest little thing ever? Let me turn around here so you guys can see it. I know what it looks like. Is that not just the cutest little thing ever? It's a Ulanzi, and it's completely, this thing just moves however you want it to move. Whatever angle you want it to be at, it'll go 90 degrees, it'll stand straight up, it'll angle. It's tiny. I kind of like small things. Small things come in good packages, right? Or good things come in small packages. That's how it is. So when you put that on top of this, it does make it a little taller, but that's not, it's still doable. And then by the time you add the action camera thing on, it does make it a little bit taller. But if I wanted for some reason to do a vertical shot, um, the Osmo 4 actually has a vertical mount, so you really probably don't need that. But I just thought it was so cute, right? And it's $10. So yeah, I'm sold. And it's very, very lightweight. I like lightweight. And there's Randy sneaking in. Hello, everyone. Hey, Randy. How are you doing? I saw you put a new video out, but I did not get a chance to watch it. So uh, today is kind of the day I get caught up, so to speak. And so I'm not very productive on Thursdays. But tomorrow I'll hit the ground running again. And there's Roy. So happy you're in here, Roy. How you feeling? Everything coming along nicely? Are you back? You're probably not back to your old self, but are you getting back to your old self? Let's put it that way. Um, as always, good day, Sly. I love that. Good day. Yeah. So I have not flown in 6 years, and it was before everything happened, and so according to my ticket, I get a checked luggage, a carry-on, or a checked bag, a carry-on, a personal item, and I don't know that I'm actually going to need all that. I'm only going to be gone a week. So, and I don't travel light. Okay, that's been established. So, I probably will take 5 pair of jeans and a couple pair of shorts and then some lounge pants. Um, so I can put everything I think in my checked bag. So I don't know why I would need a carry-on and a personal item. But my personal item is going to be my laptop and my camera gear. So my question to you guys who travel all the time, do you travel with camera gear? I guess that would be a good question. Uh, because I'm oscillating back and forth between a backpack that can do more than just be a camera bag or a primarily dedicated camera bag that can hold a little bit of other stuff. So, yeah, you people who travel all the time on planes, um, do you think I need all three bags? Because I'm kind of leaning towards a duffel for the carry-on, a camera bag for the personal item. Oh, and another thing that I do need your help with. So there is mixed, and there's nothing on the airline's website. I have read everything I can possibly read, and I've watched videos, and there is a mixed consensus whether a sling bag is considered a personal item. A fanny pack is not. So if you wear it around your waist, it's considered like a coat, like something you're just wearing. They don't count it. But if you wear it as a sling bag, apparently they count it like a backpack. Go figure. Yeah, I don't know. Randy's saying house alarm problems. Battery is replaced and needs to be charged from 24 hours to 48. I've been having a lot of blackout this past week in my neighborhood. So the tornadoes have been ripping through Oklahoma. It's that time of year. You know, the sirens go off and 1 o'clock in the morning. And one of the towns where I raised my children, got hit Saturday night. And it was 40 years and 1 day since it got hit the last time. So when I moved down there, I had actually looked at the when we drove through the town, everything was new. It was the best kept looking town I'd ever seen. I did not know at that time that a tornado had destroyed the town a year before. And so everybody had rebuilt, so hence everything looked new. Yeah, I found that out after we signed the lease, right? But it was a wonderful place to raise the kids. But yeah, they got hit again Saturday night. So prayers go out to all of them. It completely missed Muskogee, so I didn't even lose power. So I do sympathize with you, Randy. Roy is saying to Randy, as long as the computer internet works, right? It's so funny because I don't even think about it. I just kind of come in, turn on the computer, and watch whatever I want to watch. I usually sit in front of the computer to eat. That's like my entertainment while I'm eating. I rarely turn on the TV unless Little Man's here, and then we watch cartoons. But the computer is like my gateway to the world, so to speak. And you can find out anything you want to know on the computer. But what did we do before computers? And yes, I'm old enough that we didn't have, growing up, I didn't have a computer. We had TV, and the TV was on a lot more, I think. It seems like from after dinner, which was about 7 o'clock, to 10, the TV was on every night. So maybe maybe computers have taken the place of the TV at night. Randy's saying, "Yep, as long as the internet and computer are working, we're good to go." Yep. So I guess I'd read a book while I ate my dinner. If I didn't have any internet or computer or anything like that. So on another note, it's not 100% sure yet, but I may be moving to the same town where my daughter and son live, which will be so much handier. And then I will stay here for work the 4 days I work, and then I will stay up there the 3 days I'm off. So because I'm running up and down the road on all of my days off, so I might as well just drive up there and park my little self and then drive back when it's time to go back to work. So, yeah, so that's kind of in the making and hopefully will happen sometime next month. So, not looking forward to the moving part, but I, as far as the physical having to get furniture moved and all that, that's kind of a hassle. But I don't use, like, on the days I work, I see the bedroom and the kitchen, and that's it. And I work 11 half 12-hour days, so I come home and basically get cleaned up, pour myself into bed, sleep until it's time to get up and eat breakfast, which is like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and then go to work all night. So um, it's kind of a waste having this big house, uh, but it is handy, and this house doesn't cost me anything, so it is handy having it to where I wouldn't have to drive back and forth from one city to another 4 days a week. Yeah. Randy says I am loving the AT&T 1000 up and down, plus it's cheaper than Spectrum. Yes, my son has that, and it's amazing. And yes, it's cheaper than what I'm paying. And they say I'm getting 1,000 down, but there's no way I'm getting 1,000 up. So I'm lucky if I'm getting 35 up, I think. Uh, Peter says, am I allowed to hit the like button? Peter, hit it 3 times. You're allowed to hit the like button as much as you want. Just make sure it's an odd number. Yeah. And Randy says, everyone should have and could have, right? Scott says, I finally put the Slinger backpack to use. It's great. Great recommendation. Awesome. They, Adorama makes some really good bags. I have one coming from them tomorrow. It's not a Slinger, it's a Pelican. So we'll see. Sammy is the one who turned me on to Pelican, so we'll see how that one does. I actually got a new, I think I might have gotten it last week, but I've been using it for a week and I don't like to really talk about things a whole lot until I've actually tried them out, because sometimes bags can look great, but when you're actually wearing them and trying them out, they're not so great. So I really 100% still completely endorse Recycled Firefighter for my truck bag, but I got a new alpaca bag. You kind of saw that coming, didn't you? Um, Now, this is a little bit more refined. It's not a little bit, it's a lot more refined than the Recycled Firefighter. It's a more, it's a, I don't want to say classy, it's a more dressy bag. Okay. The Recycled Firefighter is definitely more durable. Okay. And these are both, as you can see the height difference, these are both rated at 12 liters. So that rating, yeah, yeah, don't really go by that. Yeah. I'm going to rate bags as small, medium, and large. And these are both what I would call small bags. You can get quite a bit in here, and it's got a laptop sleeve. So I don't know if you can see that. It's a really nice bag. It's their little Metro, and I do like it. It stands up by itself. Look, Ma, no hands. But it is more. It has an amazing amount of organization. It's more compact. Everything is more like packed in here. So the straps are great. All that good stuff. Uh, I think it may be too small for my carry-on, so I don't think it's going to make it on the plane. But for carrying it back and forth to the office, it has been fantastic. So, thoughts: regular backpack with camera inserts, dedicated camera bag. Which way would you guys go? And there's Miss Evelyn, watching with you tonight, Scott, and hoping I will learn something new. So, Miss Evelyn, I know you're a wealth of knowledge, and you've probably traveled a bit. So if you fly, how many bags do you take? Because I'm thinking 3 might be, I don't know. I think just when I think it's going to be overkill, then I'm like, but I'm paying for it, so I really want to use. I don't know. I don't know how much I need to take with me. Randy's saying to Miss Evelyn, hide your pocketbook. I'm sure Scott has outgrown the mama I want. Yeah. Peter says, I don't think I've ever seen anyone eat a slice of pizza as fast as Roy. Okay. Did Roy eat a slice of pizza on camera? I completely missed that if he did. Roy says, no internet. I'd burn a book for entertainment. Well, make sure it's a bad book. Make sure it's not a good novel. And Roy's saying good day to Peter. Peter's saying good day, super duper fast pizza eater. That's funny. Where did you eat a slice of pizza on camera, Roy? Peter is saying Evelyn is probably the smartest one in the room. I would agree. I would agree. With age comes wisdom. Yes. And so I hope that I have learned more than a 30-year-old, right? Now, at 30, I think I thought I knew everything. Yeah. The older you get, the more you realize you don't know. So, yes. But I was really hoping Jim would come in here tonight because he travels a lot by airplane. So, um, dedicated camera bag with a little bit of room for other stuff, or backpack with camera inserts with more room for stuff. So, that is the question. Lewis! Sly, I almost forgot you're streaming today. Hello, friends. Well, how can you forget? It's Thursday. It's Terrific Thursday. Oh, that's Terrific Tuesday. I don't know what Thursday is. Thursday is, I'll have to think of something. Fabulous Friday is Friday. So Terrific Tuesday is Tuesday. Yeah, I'm not sure what Thursday is. In between Terrific and Fabulous. There you go. So, Lewis, I don't know if you got to see this, but I'll just show it again because that's just what I do. Is this not the cutest little ball head ever? Look at that. Look at that. This way. This way. There we go. Come on. Come on. Come on, puppy. There it goes. Okay, now let's try to get the thing straight. Is that not just the cutest little ball head ever? I just love this thing. $10. Yeah. I don't know how I find these, but it's super duper smooth. The rotating action is, when it's undone, it's super smooth. And it just, that's me making noise because it makes no noise whatsoever. So that's my find of the week, is the Alonzi mini little ball head, which is great for vlogging. Yes, Peter, I don't know what kind of tripod you're using, but this is a great vlogging ball head because it is so light and it weighs nothing. It's awesome. Peter said, I watched Roy vacuum a slice of pizza live on Jeff's channel. I wanted to say, slow down, it's all yours. And Lewis says, Sly, do you have a favorite lens? I'm trying to find mine. Well, Lewis, I kind of do, not really, not sort of, maybe. But I use the M system, and I don't think, I mean, I love it, absolutely love it. And so my collection of lenses is growing, but they're all M lenses. So as far as a favorite, I like this 22, But the 15 to 45 gives you way more versatility, and they're a dime a dozen. So you don't have to worry about breaking one because you can replace it for 50 bucks. And so, yeah, the 15 to 45 is definitely going with me. The M6 is going with me. The G7 is going with me. Um, and then, of course, the action camera. Yeah, I pretty much take it everywhere. It's a no-brainer. But I do have to take my laptop. I will try to stream while I am in Nevada, but the where I'm staying has no internet. So if unless I can find internet, I probably won't make it that Thursday. So and Peter says, "Hi, Lewis. Love you, buddy." Lewis, everyone's glad you're here. He says, "Love you, Peter. You're the best." So we hope to see you tomorrow night on Peter's show. Peter says, "I'm not sure I hear you so well this evening." Really? Okay. Is is the volume? Oh, you know what? Maybe I did raise that up. Maybe. Maybe. Nope, I didn't. Okay. Um. Okay. Well, I can turn this up a notch. Probably blow your ears out now. No? Well, that is odd because it does look like it is a little bit on the quiet side. I don't know why. Huh. Okay. Well, I did turn that up a little bit. I think I'll blow it out if I go up much higher. Testing, testing. It doesn't really look like it's changing anything. So I'm gonna put it back down there. Okay. I don't. I honestly don't know why, because everything should be set the way it was. You know, I did notice. I did record another video, and I did notice it was a little. The sound was a little bit low. So perhaps these microphones don't last as long as you would like to think they do. Um, because you're right, Peter, it is a little quieter. And so maybe the microphone is about to give out. I don't know. Uh, Lewis says, you're dot dot dot. Sorry, I got excited. Please forgive me. Lewis says, it's so cute, Sly. Can you please give me a quick review of the M6 Mark II? Because I'm tempted to get one. I have so many EOS M lenses. Sorry, Peter, I'm trapped. Okay, Lewis. So the M6 is a fantastic camera. It's like, it's kind of like the M version of the 90D. It does 32 megapixels. It does the fast, like if you want to take pictures of a sports and have a whole bunch like the fast shooting. I can't remember the number, but it does those in quick succession. I don't think I've ever used that, but it's not an expensive camera, but it depends on what you have budgeted for a camera. Okay, I think this little M200, which goes on sale all the time, get a refurbished one, uh, would not be a bad run and gun camera. And it's interchangeable lenses too. Takes the M lenses too. So what M lenses do you have? Because the 15 to 45 fits fantastic on this little M200, and it won't break the bank. You know, that's what a lot of these big cameras. There's several drawbacks to them for people that would just want to pick up something, turn it on, and go shoot. Okay, so we're talking about soccer moms. We're talking about, pretty much any mom, and unless she is into gadgets and gizmos, the M camera has too many buttons on it for them. Now I like buttons because I'm kind of into gadgets and gizmos. You know, I get excited about a new tripod ball head, but most most, a lot of women and a lot of younger people, they just want to turn it on because they're so used to their phone. You know, your phone is just, it's always on, and you just hit one button for camera and then one button to take a picture, and you're done. So you don't really have to adjust things, or I just happen to like to adjust things. So the M camera, it fits really, really good in my hand, the M6. Um, and I like the dials on top because it is so easy to adjust. Whereas the M200, they really don't want you messing with those settings. You turn the camera on. It was very difficult to find to get into the menu. It doesn't have all the buttons that the M6 Mark II has. So if you're on a budget, look at the M200. If you're not on a budget, you got some income tax money coming back, then look at the M6 Mark II. And yeah, you can't buy them. I don't think you can even buy them refurbished anymore. Look at MPB. They have the best deals. Yeah, that's Mother's Peanut Butter and Jelly, as Peter likes to call it. Where was I at? Roy. Pizza on selective imagery Saturday night show. Got hungry. So, is pizza good for you? Because see, I used to think that pizza covered all the main food groups, right? You had like a hamburger pizza or Canadian bacon or sausage or whatever. You had your meat, you had your cheese, you had your bread. It covered, pretty much. And if you want to call tomato sauce a vegetable, you had that too. So, and if you got a supreme pizza that had all the veggies and stuff on it, well, there you go. It's even better. I have since been told that pizza is not the best for someone over a certain age. That'd be me. Yeah. So, Peter says, that's the one, Roy. Yes, I missed that. I might have to go back just to see Roy vacuum a piece of pizza. Roy says, Thursday for some, Friday for the rest of us. Oh, okay. So it is Fabulous Friday for you. That's awesome. And it's like the middle of the day, right? So it's a little earlier than I was doing to catch some of the U.S. folks. Lewis says, so you like the 15 to 45. I feel like it's not enough light at 3.5 to 5.6, but I like the M6 look. You're 100% correct. Yes. The 15 to 45 is not the best lens if you're shooting in dark areas. Then I would probably go to maybe the 22 or the 32. Those are both the prime lenses, and it just depends on what you're shooting, because then you don't have the range. So I have the 11 to 22, which is perfect for me because my arms aren't very long, so it's perfect for me if I'm vlogging. But I don't even use it now for vlogging because I just use my action camera, and it's so small, and it's not on here. I get that, but yeah, it's so small. I think I have one of the other ones somewhere up here. Maybe not. Oh yeah, I do. So this is a much more compact. Now, obviously, you don't get the zoom, so it is a trade-off. So if I was going on vacation, I would take more than one camera. The G7X has got pretty good zoom. It definitely has more than 45, which is all I would get out of the M6. So it just depends on what you're doing with it. The reason I have so many different cameras is because I do so many different things. Obviously, you cannot take an M6 on a kayak. Not as often as I end up in the water, right? So these are invaluable for kayaking, but probably not the best option for going to see Hoover Dam, where you might want to zoom in a little bit, right? So it just kind of depends on your use case scenario, what you're going to be using it for. But you could get literally pretty much, I think, all of my whole setup for maybe around $1,000. You could get an M6. You could get an action camera. Well, you couldn't get the G7, but yeah, with the M6 and the action camera, you would kind of be set for if you needed to zoom, you'd have the M6, and if you were just vlogging, you'd have the action camera. So I don't know. I know Peter really, really likes the Pocket 3, but I kind of prefer the just the action, because I know the Pocket 3 has a gimbal and it will follow you and all that good stuff. But if if the gimbal goes out, you're kind of screwed. So yeah, I like to keep it simple. How do the meters look? A little low, to be honest with you. Um, but there's nothing really to adjust. I mean, there's a little gain button up here, but that's what makes me wonder if the microphone's not going out, which it very well could be. Um, I don't know how hard that would be to change. Oh, it wouldn't be that hard. Do you want me to try a different microphone? I can certainly put another one on there. I'm the queen of microphones. I have plenty. Roy says, I ate the pizza quick, hoping no one would notice. That's where you... Yeah. Lewis says, yeah, I bumped up the volume a lot this time around, Sly. Okay, well, um, I just happen to have another one right here. So give me just a sec, and I'll just change them out real quick. I say real quick. Yeah. See, Peter, I have everything on with all my cords keepered. Yeah, cord management, buddy. Cord management. All right. So I'm going to mute this for just a minute while I change this off, while I change it out. right. Okay. I don't think that helped anything. After all that, the sound levels look the exact same. So, yeah, I'm thinking that did not help. So, sorry, I tried. Don't know how to get it any louder because it's literally a plug and play. So, but it doesn't look like that helped one iota. Um, Let me see. Oh, you know what? I think I know how to do this. Maybe, maybe. Somewhere I have a microphone button. Let's see if that helped anything. Nope, that didn't help anything either. So, let's see if that helped anything. Oh, that helped. That helped a lot. Okay. So maybe I had it down too low in the computer? I don't know. Now I'm actually pinging. Okay. All right. So did that make it louder, guys? Yes? No? Maybe so. I'm not going to go back to the blue one. So we'll just roll with this one. But it does look like it should be a little bit better. Okay. Let's see. I think yeah. Okay. Lewis, how does that sound? Better? I'm very surprised. I thought I would see you using the 22 f2 as your favorite lens for the M camera. So it's not wide enough to vlog with. It's not. It doesn't have. It's not. Doesn't have the zoom for taking. So the 22 is great for just sitting here. But as far as for carrying it out and about, it's really not one that I would recommend as an out and about lens. So if you're just doing where you're just sitting still talking, then yes, it's a fantastic lens. But yeah, but so this is the 22 on the M200. This is the 15 to 45, and I probably have it zoomed in a little too close because I was doing something else the other day. And I honestly, I didn't do a rehearsal thing tonight. I just came on, went live. So, but I think this is a very warm look, and this is coming out of the M6 Mark II. So I think it's actually a better look than the M200, but I don't know. What do you guys think? M6 II is a great camera, Lewis. It is. I love it. I love it. When I was looking to get a replacement for the 90D, Peter really wanted me to look at the R series, and I think the closest camera that comes to the M6 size-wise is the RP, and it just really didn't have the specs on it. Just really weren't that great. And if I like something, I stick with it until it breaks. So, and that gives Canon quite a while to come out with something I like better, because I like them so much. I bought 2 of them. Yeah. So, but that's just kind of how I roll. Roy says volume is a little low. Is it? I think that was probably written before I changed the microphone out. I don't think it was the microphone. I think it was the the setting in the computer, which I don't think I've messed with those. Oh, I did, because when I went on Peter's show last week, I was getting feedback and I was trying to figure out where it was coming from. So yes, I did. So that may have. I hope that fixed it. You guys let me know. Roy's saying to Peter, I'm off to check the fridge for pizza. See, Peter gets you thinking about something, and like I'm thinking about pizza too right now, Peter. Thank you so much, because I don't need to be eating pizza this late at night. And now he's laughing because he's got everybody thinking about pizza. And most of us in here should not be eating pizza after 9 o'clock at night. Lewis says, EOS M, I have 15 to 45, 22, both autofocus. Yes, both of these are autofocus. In fact, I used to have the 24 on the M6, and I changed it to the 15 to 45. So I need to back it off just a little bit. But yeah, that is the 15 to 45. So there's nothing wrong with that, other than it's a little too close right now. I need to, I don't know. Peter somehow Peter does that without having to get up and adjust. So I don't know how he does that. He's a sneaky little booger. Yeah, I don't know how he does that. Because I don't have that capability. But I think this is a really good picture, and this is just with the kit lens. They send you one of these with every camera you buy, so I have like 3 of these. But MPB has them too for like $45-50. So they're not expensive lenses, but I think it does obviously at this point it's the camera doing a fantastic job. I think it is a little bit warmer look, and I may switch cameras, but I bought this other camera right there. I bought this specifically to put there. So I don't think I'll ever take it off the tripod. I would be surprised. Just because I like the dials and switches on the M6. So yeah, if you're looking to stay in the M system, I would definitely look at one of those two. The M6 Mark II or the M200. Depends on how much you want to mess with settings. If you want to mess with settings, get the M6, if your budget allows. If you don't want to mess with settings, and I suppose if you did it often enough, it would not be as confusing. But for me, the M6 has a menu button. You can just go right to whatever. It has an info button and a menu button. You can just go right to whatever it is you want to adjust. The M200, you really have to know how to get into the menu system. It is not easily adjustable. So there's that. But you have 2 good lenses. So yeah, that was, and I just like Canon. I like the menu system. Now I will say that this was a plus for me, but it may be a con for other people. The screen on both of these cameras flips up, which I like. I don't like it where it flips out to the side. It's way more compact if it flips up. If it flips out to the side, I'm more prone to hitting it, right? So for me, I just like the flip up. But a lot of people and almost all cameras now have gone with the flip out. So that might be another consideration for you too. Lewis says manual EOS lenses are 17mm 1.4 and 35mm 1.7. So my sharpest lens is a Mikey 35mm 1.4, I believe it is. It's either 1.2 or 1.4. I think it's 1.4. Man, that lens blows everything else out of the water. So if I were going to be taking like portraits of somebody and I was behind the camera, man, that would be the one I would get. In fact, I probably will take that to Las Vegas with me because I will be taking pictures of my friend and her brother-in-law, but I will be behind the camera. So if we do a group photo thing, then I will set the timer, focus before I go sit with them, and because it is the sharpest lens I have is the Mikey, but it's manual focus. So, it's a trade-off. If you're in front of the camera and you're moving around, manual focus is not the way to go. Lewis says, you're right, Sly, the action camera is better than carrying an 11 to 16. I have the 10 to 18 lens and fisheye EF mount lens. Okay, so I have a 10 to 18 EFS lens I think it's an EFS. And I have the adapter, right? That lens is so big, and it's an older lens. It is not near as sharp as the 11 to 22. And you have to have an adapter. So now I will say, as good as your equipment is, you have to be, the operator has to know what they're doing. I took my grandson out and I thought I was taking pictures of him with these ginormous rounded rocks. They look like dinosaur eggs. In fact, that's what the town calls them, is a field of dinosaur eggs. I have no idea how long they've been there, where they came from, but they're perfectly smooth, round, like oval-shaped rocks. And they're as big as my house, okay? And so I thought I was getting all these really good pictures for B-roll, and I didn't open. You have to, on the 15 to 45, you know, hey, you have to open the lens. Yeah, I forgot to do that. So little man took off. At the time he was 3, and he took off running, and I'm just trying to get a shot just as quick as I can. So the M6 was not the best camera to have in that situation. The G7X, I would have had the picture, right? So really depends on what you're doing. But like when we got to the dinosaurs, I would have loved to have had more zoom so I could have zoomed in on that T-Rex, right? So Roy says, then I won't share my pizza with old people. Well, for you, it's the middle of the afternoon, and so you're going to be up for a while. If I get off here and go eat a pizza, you know, it's almost 10 o'clock at night. So, yeah. I do okay with pizza if it's earlier in the day, but late at night is not good for old people to eat pizza. Lewis says, my EF lens collection, 18 to 135. Ooh. 18 to 135 millimeter, 10 to 18, 24 millimeter pancake. I have that lens. It's an awesome lens. 55 to 250 millimeter lens, all autofocus EFS. Yes, and the adapter, you can get a Viltrox adapter for, I don't know, I think they were like $25 is what I have like 3 of them. I think they were $25. But I have the 24, and I did have the 24 on the M camera, and when I started doing the backpack reviews and wanting to show what it looks like on me, I had to widen it up, and so the 24 was not wide enough, so I put the 15 to 45 so I could get that wide shot so you could see. I usually cut my head off, but you can see like the backpack on my back. So, but the 24 is an amazing, that's a really good lens too. Roy says variable aperture lenses are a pain in the studio. You have to keep adjusting the lighting. Yes, you do. On the M6, it is not an issue. There is a little dial on the front, and I mean it's pretty much the camera just fits my hand, and the dials are where they all need to be for me, because you zoom in or zoom out and you just turn that little dial and it adjusts yeah. I love the M6. Very, very, very glad I went that direction. Lewis says manual lenses are 50 millimeter f1.4. I think my 50 is a 1.8, if I'm not mistaken, and it's an EFS. I don't have a 50 M lens. 55 f1.2, 28 f2.8. Oh, manual lenses. Okay. And 135 millimeter f2.8 and 105 f2 and 50 millimeter f2. Inherited a few from my dad, so you can see how I'm heavily invested in Canon, Peter. I'm trapped. Well, don't look at it as you're trapped, because you're not, but it would be expensive to start with a new line. Now, I went with the Sony ZV-1 because I didn't have to buy any lenses for it, and I wanted to check out the Sony because everybody's raving about Sony. I personally, and it's completely a personal thing, I don't like the Sony menus. have shot with so many Canons, and their menu systems are pretty much all the same. So it's very easy for me to navigate. The Sony is very difficult for me to navigate because it's not what I'm used to. Okay, so yeah, there's that. I went with I think I initially bought the 90D when I first got into digital camera. And I went with a Canon because I had lenses from the film days, right? I had EF lenses. So that's kind of why I went that direction. And I'm really glad I did. I think the Sony cameras look great, but I think pretty much any camera you get that's reasonably current, and when I say reasonably current, in the last 5 years, I don't think you have to buy the latest and the greatest. Buy what fits you, and you know, you've got a slew of lenses. Now, the manual lenses are great for taking pictures of other people, but stick with the 15 to 45 for, like, if you want to set the camera down and do some dancing or something. It's autofocus. It's gonna move with you. So yeah, I would just, that's, if you take nothing else away from tonight, Lewis, get what fits you. Don't listen to anybody else. Don't listen to, oh, this camera does this, and this camera does this, and this is great, and this does this. No. If the camera is 5 years old or newer, it's going to take great pictures, and you've got the lenses, so get what fits you for what you want to use it for. Lewis says, Roy knows exactly what I'm talking about. So frustrating. Excuse me. Yeah, I love my action camera, but that may not be for everybody, right? Some people want something a little bigger. A lot of people want something a little bigger. Roy loves Nikon. I've never owned a Nikon in my life, so I really can't bash them. The only Sony I have is a ZV-1, and it permanently resides above my head because I don't like the menu system. I don't want to have to change anything on it, right? I have a little tripod thing that has a little zoom, and you can make it go in and out. And it sits on my desk, and so I turn it on, I zoom it in, and I leave it there. And that's the extent of my Sony. I could probably put a cell phone up there and achieve the same thing. Well, I guess I wouldn't have the zoom, but yeah, it's great to have recommendations from people, but at the end of the day, you're going to be the one holding the camera. You're going to be the one using the camera. And if it doesn't make sense to you, you're not going to want to use it. So Peter says, okay, Lewis, explain how you would use those lenses to record you. Teach me so I can learn. Well, that's just it. You can't unless you're sitting and not moving, right? Because manual focus, when you focus it, you're done. If you move forward or backwards, it's not going to track, right? And I move way too much to try to use a manual focus lens, but that's just me. I think Lewis moves a little too much too to record himself using a manual focus lens. Lewis says, Peter, that's what I want to ask you too, because it's so hard to record with manual glass. Yes, it is extremely hard. I have to find my focus and just stay completely still. It's a struggle, so then I just give up and not post. 100%. Yes. So slap an autofocus lens on there. If you're doing your dancing and you're a little bit further away from the camera, the 22 is fine. You know, if I got back a little ways, it would be fine. You've got some 11s. I think you said you had the 11 to 22. That's a fantastic lens for vlogging. That's what I use if I've got the M6. I've just gone to the action camera because of, number one, the weight, the portability. I can throw, in fact, it's in my backpack right now. I can throw the action camera in my backpack and throw the tripod on the side, and off I go. And so I always have something with me. Fortunately, I guess, depending on how you look at it, because I do have that DJI mic, but it doesn't sound as good as the onboard mic on the Osmo 4. So everything is a trade-off, Lewis. Like I said, my Mikey 35mm manual focus lens is probably the best lens I have for taking portraits. Okay, it is not the best lens for vlogging. It's not the best lens. Saturday, I'm going to be pulling a stump out, and I'm going to set up 2 cameras in the yard and 1 in the back of my truck, so you can see all the different angles of me pulling this stump out. A manual focus lens would absolutely not work in that situation, because the stump's moving, the truck's moving. Even though the camera's staying still, everything else is moving. So you would have to constantly be behind the camera, and I can't be behind the camera if I'm driving the truck. So, there's that. So I am going to start posting more videos, not many, but a few more videos of just what I do, right? People seem to want to know what I do, so I'm going to show you me pulling a stump out. Sounds really exciting, doesn't it? And it'll probably get like 3,000 views. Yeah, I have no idea why. Peter, I'll call you tomorrow. I just wanted to say hi to Sly, and then I have to go watch a movie soon. Love you. Love you too, Lewis. And yes, the sound is a lot nicer, Sly. Thank you. So yeah, it was in the computer. It wasn't the microphone. So sorry about that, guys. Yeah, that wasn't the mic's fault. So I'm glad about that, because these are not expensive microphones by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm sure they will go out at some point, and then I'll just get another one. And they come in all these fun colors. This is my blue one. And my little... I have to remember to cover my face. Yeah. And hold it straight. There we go. My little fine microphones. It does have a gain adjustment right here, but apparently it was in the computer, not the microphone's fault. So sorry, Mr. Microphone. I'll replace you as soon as the show's over. Color-coded microphones. I like that. Yes. Green is... I have a green sleeve on my laptop. So my portable equipment is green. And my stationery, my desktop and everything is blue. My chair is blue. So I have a blue microphone. So, yeah. They come in some other colors too, but I think it's like pink, which I'm not really a pink person. Silver, black, and maybe a gold one. So, Lewis says, yes, it's louder now. Thank you so much. Good. Good, good. Yeah, the levels look a lot better. Sound is good. So I guess I went into the computer when I was trying to, I was getting that feedback, and it turned out that I had your show. I'm not sure. See, I don't watch YouTube on the Mac. Okay. I have this big computer. I don't know if you can see it in this one. This big, 2 big honking 32-inch screens back here on the PC. And so that's what I watch. That's what I shop on, and that's what I watch YouTube on, and what have you. So the other night when I was on Peter's show, apparently I had opened his show on the Mac, and it was still playing, even though there was nothing that said it was open. I think there might have been, yes, there was. There was a little black dot next to the internet thing. And I just totally missed that. So I was getting a lot of, a 20-second delay in my ear compared to what we were actually saying. So it was very discombobulating. Roy says I must have gone deaf. Can you hear me now? Oh, Peter says, Roy, can you hear me now? And that's the thing here, Roy. Yeah. Just don't mind us. Lewis says, I might start reviewing my M camera lenses because I have a lot of thoughts about them. Sly, yes, you definitely should. Because I watch a guy called his first name's Mark. Can't remember what his last name is. And he has switched now to the R series. But for a long time, he used the M series. And so he reviewed a lot of lenses. And I found it very, very helpful. So, yeah, I think you should, Lewis. I would be front and center every time. Peter Griggs, what? Yeah, well, it's a thing. It's a thing. And okay. Lewis says, I'm shocked, Sly. I prefer the look of the 15 to 45 over the 22 on your streaming setup. Yes, that's what I'm saying, Lewis. This is a kit lens, and it comes with every camera, and I think it does a phenomenal job. I have both cameras set to what Canon calls faithful. That seems to be my preferred setting. They have some presets in there, and faithful is the one I like the best. But I think this gives a much warmer look than the M200. But it might, and it looks a little bit darker, but when I've tried to brighten it up, they don't match up, even though both of them are set to faithful. So I think I will, you know what, next week I will change the lenses. I'll swap them. And I'll have to move the cameras just a little bit, but I'll swap them out and see if it makes a difference. And I do need to adjust that just a little bit because it is a little too tight. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So, yeah, that's better. I had adjusted it last week and I just never put it back. So, but yeah. Oh, you can see the microphone now. It's green. It's all good. Randy says to Lewis, get the Sigma 16 to 18 to 28, f2.8, small and portable. You know, it's not as small as the 11 to 22. Because I kind of looked at that lens. And it is longer than the 11 to 22. If you get a mirrorless camera for any brand, the Sigma has the lens for those systems. They do. The Sigma 16 was kind of the go-to lens that everybody really highly recommended. It is considerably longer than the 11 to 22. So it makes the camera, I don't know that it's any heavier. Nobody ever really complained about the weight. But the 11 to 22 is so lightweight. So there's that. But yes, Sigma does make a lot of lenses for the M system. And they're reasonably priced. They're not ridiculous. Roy says volume is great now. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, that was operator error. That was not the fault of the equipment. So it happens. It's live. Lewis is talking to Randy saying I'll look into it. I don't have IBIS, so I will have to put on a tripod. Yes and no. It kind of really depends on I guess if you were bouncing around a lot, the M200, the M6 is I've never tested the M200 out walking around with it, but the M6 does a phenomenal job. Now, I do have a gimbal that is super easy to use, super easy to set up, and it's small to go with my small camera. And the M6 fits on it absolutely perfect, like it was made for it. So that does take some of the wibble wobble out, but when I have used it without the gimbal, I really haven't noticed that it's that shaky. So I haven't really gotten out with either of the M6s since I got the Osmo 4. So there's that. Roy says, aren't most action cameras fisheye lenses? The Osmos are not. Yes, I will agree with that statement as far as like even the newest GoPro, it does kind of round in at the corners, right? I have not noticed that with the Osmos. So I didn't notice any of it with the original, and I haven't noticed it with the 4. With the 4, you can, like in editing, you can zoom in a little bit more, but and you can with the original, but not as much. But I have not noticed that fisheye effect. And when I watch some of the people that I like to watch that vlog with the GoPros, I do see some of that. It's not enough to not put the video up, but yes, a little bit. Lewis says, wow, you're right. The 11 to 22 would be sharper than the 10 to 18, but I'd still pick the Action 4 over. So, excuse me, guys. The Action 4 is great for an everyday roundabout town vlogging camera, and it's great if you're caught out in the weather. There's a lot of pros to it, but if you are wanting to take some still photography, I would not recommend an action camera. So again, you got to know what your use case scenario is going to be and what fits you and your budget. Peter says, this may sound depressing, but think of making a few pictures that can be made bigger for a party and also for the newspaper. Would you stop? Just no, we're not even going to go there, Peter. Lewis says, Sly, that story is so upsetting. I know the 15 to 45. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a little button on the side and you just have to unlock the lens, you know. But hey, it happens. It happens. Roy says, Sony menus are getting better. Well, they need to be. I'm just not a Sony fangirl. Lewis says, Lewis, you're right. Or Lewis says, I'm right. You're the best. Love you so much. Thank you. Pick the one that fits you. Yes. Yes, if that's all you take away from tonight. Glad you got that. Roy says, I like Nikons because I know them so well. Thank you. That's how I feel about Canons. But it's hard to find a bad camera these days. That was what I was trying to explain to Lewis. Whatever system you go with, and they have adapters. I think they make an adapter, now not for the R series, because Canon's being a jerk. But I think they make adapters to where I know most of your EFS lenses, you could put on an adapter to adapt to a different camera line. So don't feel like you're locked in because of your lenses. I just like the M series because it's a small camera and it fits my hands. So it just fits me. Roy would hate the M6 Mark II. I promise you. Roy has got way bigger hands than I have. And so for him, he would feel very cramped and the buttons would not be in the right place because his fingers are bigger. So it really, really comes down to what fits you. Randy's another one. He's got Nikons, he's got Sonys, I think he's got some I know he's got some Canons. But there again, his hands are probably a little bigger than mine, and he probably would not like the M6 Mark II either. So there's definitely like a niche of, I don't want to say little people that like the M6, but your hands have to be somewhat on the small side. Now they do make, they're not cages. What am I looking? They make like adapters that go around the camera to make it bigger. But for me, it's just perfect the way it is. Randy says to Lewis, "Did you get the white balance taken care of? Cheers." And Roy says, "Enough light and you can have a small aperture and a large depth of field." Yes, so a lot of vacation stuff is done during the day, right? Like you're not going to go look at Hoover Dam at night. You know, you're going to go look at it during the day when the sun is pretty much overhead and very bright, which is why the action cameras work out so well. They do not do well in low light. Now, the Osmo 4 is supposed to do better in low light, and it does, but it's not, you know, you would not want it like some of the birthday parties I've been to, they light the candles and they turn off the lights. So you have the only light you have is birthday candles. I promise you, you're not going to be happy with your video from an action camera in that scenario. Now, if they have a bouncy house outside, the action camera is absolutely phenomenal for that. I don't know that you could bounce while you're filming, but, you know, that's a little excessive, I know. Lewis is talking to Randy saying, "Thank you for asking. I just got the auto white balance and call it a day, but if it's sunny, I'll put it on sunny, and indoors I'll do the bulb setting. Thank you so much." Cool. Randy's saying, "Yep." And Lewis says, "Sly, you're right. I think it's easier to use the action camera. The image stabilization is king." There is that, right? It is very, very forgiving. I haven't tried to run with it yet because I really don't run too much. Yeah. But it is a lot more forgiving. I've noticed I have I don't know where it is right at the moment, but I have a thing that goes on my backpack. I don't think it's on one of the backpacks. Might be. But I have a thing that goes on the backpack, and you just put the action camera right there. And so as you're walking around, it's just filming everything in front of you, right? So it's kind of seeing what you see. I was really kind of looking at that Go 3 because you can put it on the brim of your baseball cap. And I would say probably 50% of the time I wear a baseball cap. And so that would be really handy to have a camera right there, and you just kind of forget it's there. Now, when the action camera is on the backpack, you kind of forget it's there because it's just kind of, it probably sits about right there. So I like it, and I haven't noticed that it's real jittery. So, but I do have it on the DJI's. It's called Rocksteady, and I do have that turned on. I don't have it turned on to the maximum because it crops in the picture. So I have it set on the medium level, but I haven't noticed any problem with it. Did that one. Lewis's microphone is the thing. I will talk to you next week, Sly. Okay. Dude, $30 or $36, right? I'll put a link after I'm done because I have 3 of these. I mean, I just think they sound really good, and they are so simple to use if you remember to set your computer right. So there's that. But you don't need an interface. You don't need an XLR cable. None of that. And $30, you're done. Lewis says, "Yes, please. I'm excited for next week. I'm 2 in a row." Right? Yeah, that was just, I'm really kind of hoping Jim comes in here. Peter, could you send him a text and get him in here because I need some bag help, right? I'm really kind of excited, and I'm gonna start packing this weekend. So yeah, I haven't been out to Nevada in 6 years, so I am kind of stoked about going. And I do not like to fly. I am what they call a white knuckle flyer. So takeoff and landing, I do not like. Once I'm in the air, I'm fine. I just don't like the way the plane feels when it takes off, and I don't like the way it feels when it lands. So, and now they have so many restrictions that they didn't used to have. So I had I don't remember what it was called, but I didn't have to go through the security line. I had to go through one time, and I got flagged because I had on a hoodie that had foil lining, and I didn't realize you couldn't wear those. And so when I went through, everything that had everywhere that foil lining was set off their machines, and so I got frisked and all the good stuff. Now I guess they have you take off your hoodies and put it through the little camera thing, but I was going out there twice a year, and so I got where I didn't even have to go through that security check. I had to go through like the thing that beeps or doesn't beep or whatever, and like empty my pockets out, but I didn't have to take my shoes off, didn't have to take my belt off, all that stuff, and I got through the line a whole lot faster. But I think since it's been so long that I will probably have to go through regular security thing. And then, you watch enough videos and people scare you about you can't take this and you can't take that. And if your boarding pass has this on it, they're going to search your luggage and, just so much stuff. So there's nothing in my luggage. I don't really care. They can search if they want to. But I will be taking a lot of camera gear with me, and I really don't want somebody touching my cameras, if that makes sense. It really doesn't, but I really don't, because I don't think they'll be as gentle with them as I am, and I am pretty gentle with my camera gear. So, yeah. So I don't. Is 3 bags too many? A checked bag, a carry-on, and a personal item. So what do you guys think? Roy says, stop talking lenses. It gives me gas. Right? Yes. I've got my eye on a 32 millimeter for the M6. Not that I'll use it that much, but I just want to have it before they can't be found anymore. And, but I want to get some trips out of the way before I spend the money for the lens. Randy says, my bad, I forgot that it only works on mirrorless full-frame cameras. But there are great APS-C choices out there too. The Sigma, yeah, the one for the M is I believe it's just a 16 prime. But it's about that long, where the 11 to 22 is about like that. So it is a much larger footprint. Randy's saying to Roy, I'm catching up to you. Yes, I don't know how many cameras you have now, Randy, but it's a lot. Roy's saying to Randy, should be easy. I'm slower lately. That's hilarious. Randy's saying to Roy, picked up adapters to use old manual lenses between Nikon and L-mount Alliance cameras. Okay. That's what I'm talking about, Lewis, is you can get adapters. Now, they're going to add about that much space to whatever size your lens is to the camera. So, like I have a lot of EFS lenses. I have 2 EF lenses, and I have an adapter that'll go on the M6 so I can use those lenses, but I don't use them. I did try to use this. I have like it's either a 2 or a 300 zoom, and I did try to use it, and it was a very soft picture compared to my newer lenses. So there's that. So Randy says, Sony's are mini computers with too many choices. Cannot make up my mind, right? I really, really like Peter's, what is it? The EV, the Sony EV. It's either the 1 or the 10. I think. I'm not 100% sure. But it's the one with the interchangeable lens. I like the looks of that. But again, the screen flips off to the side, and I just prefer it when they flip up. So, Lewis says, true, Randy has them all, and there's no problem getting them, right? Roy says, Munchkins? Munchkins? Yeah, yeah. There's Carlos. Hey, Sly, just between clients. It's that time, isn't it? And there's Charles. How you doing, Charles? Hey, Sly. So, Charles, you put something out, and when I work, guys, I just really don't have time to do anything else or look at anything else. And but Charles put something up, and I wanted to message you about it. Now I can't remember what it was about. That's old timers is catching up with me. It'll come to me. I may send you a Facebook message thing when I think about it. And if it's the middle of the night, don't answer. Just wait till the next day, because a lot of times I have my brain clears in the middle of the night for some reason. Lewis says, this was wonderful, Sly. Thank you for everything. Be yourself. Yes, 100%. Go enjoy your movie and time with your girlfriend or your family or whatever. And we'll catch you hopefully tomorrow night or maybe next week. Yeah? Tomorrow night on Peter's. And then if not, I definitely will be here next Thursday. So I may not do the following Thursday. Randy says, just use a small rig... English words, I know them. Just use a small rig cage and L grips for those M6 Canon cameras. Yeah, they do make it bigger, but that's the problem, is it fits my hand now. So I don't want to make it bigger. I do it also for bigger cameras. IBIS doesn't help when I'm behind the camera. Need a tripod, side of a building, tabletop, etc. Yes, and this, Randy, this little ball head, that Zedio tripod that you have, would be perfect for it because it doesn't have a ball head. And that one spreads completely flat, and then you could have the ball head. So if you were putting it in the car, Peter, it would not raise it up very high. So, the tripod, Charles, that's what it was. So I got this one off Temu. It's all metal. It's aluminum. And it adjusts with this little ring. Well, I should have adjusted it first, right? So this little ring screws up or down, and that is your adjustment on your legs. So it'll either open a little bit, or you can adjust it like, well, let me get it all the way down. So it'll either open a little bit, like you see so, or adjust all the way up. And it gets reasonably flat. It doesn't get as flat as I think it's, do you say it's Zedio? The one that Randy has. But I like this one because it has the cold shoe mounts on the tripod. So you can add lights or whatever you need to add. And it feels good in the hand. But you kind of turned me on to that, Charles, because you did a video about a metal tripod. And I think yours actually came with a ball head. This one does not. The one that they sell for this is a lot bigger than this little Ulanzi. I love this thing, and it's so smooth. That's what, I mean, it's as smooth as my big tripods. So, yeah, for $10. Please give 5 more likes, you lurkers. Yes, I have a feeling 2 of the lurkers are related to me. So could my children, I know you have me on and you're running it. Could you give me a thumbs up? That would be good. Lewis says, I learned so much. Thank you. Charles says, are you going to Casino Land? No. I have a very, very good friend who I've known since I was 17. And she recently lost her sister. And she now is the last of 7 children. So that was the last sibling. And she's 91 years old. She doesn't get around very good anymore. But so she lives, I believe it's south of Las Vegas. And so I'm going out to see her. Her newly widowed brother-in-law is coming in the same day I am. And so we're just going to have some family time. And I may take her, I am going to take her out for Mother's Day. And will probably, she loves to go to a casino out there. And they have the wonderful buffet. And she absolutely loves the buffet. So I will probably take her there for Mother's Day. So you can't go to Nevada and not hit a casino, right? But it's not going to be like a daily thing. We'll probably just go to the one. So yeah, and then the rest of the week we're just going to stay home and visit and get caught up. And I will probably do some honeydews around her house because like she can't even get up to change a light bulb. So I will be fixing those. I think there's a shower head she needs replaced and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm just hugely looking forward to it. She's one of the sweetest ladies you'd ever want to meet. And she's having a little bit of a hard time, because she just lost her sister. And they were very, very close. So out of all the siblings, she and the sister she just lost were probably the closest. So that's always hard. So no, it's not a gambling trip. I play quarters. Yeah, the last time I was out there, which it's been 6 years ago, there's not very many quarter slots left. So they want you to you buy a card, and they want you to put a card in that has a balance on it. And then when you're done, you take the card and go cash out. And it's not as easy. Like here, you can still put money in, but most of the slots that I saw when I was out there last time were either 50 cents to $1. So, when I went out to Vegas many, many years ago, you would go and you would, for $2 or $4, I don't even remember how much it was, but they would give you a bucket of nickels. And you would just, for hours, you would be putting nickels in the machines, and that was a blast. You could play all day on very little money. But, and they always had really cheap buffets, but now it's a little bit different. The buffets aren't as cheap, and the machines are a lot higher. So, yeah, there's that. Roy says Pelican bags are heavy, but less zippers to break into. So, Roy, the bag, it's actually coming tomorrow. It's a Pelican backpack, and it's not like you think the Pelican box. I have a bunch of Apache boxes that are just like the Pelicans, but this is a soft-sided backpack. So it's not a camera bag, I don't think. I think it's just a regular Pelican backpack. It's I think it's called MPB 20, maybe? That could be completely wrong. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. But you could look, I want to, maybe it's MBP 20? It's something like that. But we'll see. Sammy was asking me about the Pelican bags, and I don't think I would like a backpack that had a hard shell to it. So I found this one. It was soft shell. It was on sale. So I just got one. But it's been a minute because Adorama was closed for Passover. So that's why I don't remember the model. Lewis says adapters make the M cameras too big, heavy. I like the size. They do. If it's on a tripod, it doesn't really matter. If you're hand holding it, yes. I don't like using the adapter. And the 10 to 18 lens, that I thought would be great, because I got that, I had that before I got the 11 to 22, and the 11 to 22 blows it out of the water. It is a much, much better lens than the 10 to 18. I will only consider the ZV-E1 because of Peter. Thank you. Yes. I really like that camera, and Peter loves it. But for me to invest in the Sony ecosystem now would be, yeah, it'd be kind of ridiculous. Lewis says my fiance wants me to get the Instagram Go 3. The Instagram. Okay. I know, I think you mean the Insta360 Go 3. So, yes, I looked at that camera, and I was just about to pull the trigger on it when they came out with the Osmo 4. I really think the Go 3 is a phenomenal camera, and it'll clip. It's got an attachment thing. It's got a magnet thing. You can put it on a chain and wear it on your shirt, or you can put it on your ball cap. And man, I thought for chasing a toddler, that would be the way to go, right? And then they came out with the Osmo 4, and I'm fairly invested in the original. You know, I've got all the adapters, and so I just, and I'm familiar with the menu system, and on the Osmo 4 it's the same as on the original, pretty much. So yeah, it just and with the Insta360, I have the X2, I think. 1 or 2, I don't remember. And I still, and you guys are going to think I'm an idiot, I still cannot figure out how to put the markers. So you download the image to, or not download, but I guess you cloud it over to your phone or whatever. So you see the image on your phone, and as you're sitting in a chair, you can rotate and move but I don't know how to set the markers and then get that video onto the computer. So yeah, it's just, I'm 100% sure it's operator error, and I'm just too dumb to figure this out. So Louis, bless his heart, has tried. Louis Vega has tried, and he navigates through it just like greased lightning, right? Me, I'm just like, I just am not getting this. So I end up not using it. And that was one of the considerations is the Go 3 going to be as complicated for me as the X1 or 2 or whichever one I have? Whereas the Osmo 4 is going to be like the original, and I'm 100% comfortable with that. So that was what tipped the scales in DJI's favor. But the Go 3, I think, is an awesome little camera. Lewis says, movie time. Love y'all. Lewis, go enjoy your movie. Love you, and we'll see you next week, buddy. Charles says, casinos have the best buffets, all you can eat. Yes. And I'm kind of a T-Rex, so I see that meat, and they usually have prime rib, which, oh my gosh, I can eat my weight in prime rib. So, Carlos says, gotta run. Have a great show, Sly. Thank you, Carlos. Glad you could drop in. And Roy says, it's great fun to adapt old lenses. The oldest I have is from 1913. Wow. Yes. I like tinkering with stuff like that. But, and if you know how to make my old lenses sharp again, that'd be great. I did try to do what Lewis said, and I put them out in the sunlight. And they sharpened up a little bit, but not as much as the new lenses. So, you know, it is what it is. But they are kind of old. So they're not from 1913, but they're probably from the 90s. So, yeah, they're probably 30 years old. But, you know. So, I don't know if Carlos flies a lot or not. Charles, you fly. So my query at the beginning of the show I'm gonna fly next week, and my ticket package thing allows for a checked bag, a carry-on, and a personal item. So I don't know that I'm going to need all three because I'm only going to be gone a week, right? But I am going to pack a tripod in my checked bag, and I want to take my camera gear. So, would you suggest a dedicated camera bag that has a little bit of room for other stuff, or a backpack with camera inserts um, that has more room for other stuff? I'm kind of leaning towards the Timba 16 because it'll hold my laptop, it'll hold all my camera gear, has a little bit of room up top, and then I still get to take a carry-on, which I can put, cables and cords and, all that kind of fun stuff in there. So you fly more than I do, Charles. So what do you fly with, and what do you recommend? See, the bag lady has a bag question for you guys. Charles says, I just finished watching the true story of Christian Dior. That would probably be pretty interesting. I've never been one for designer clothes, or but that would be pretty interesting. It's funny that I've never been one for like designer handbags or anything like that, but yet I keep coming back to the same brands. I love, 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 love my little Osprey backpack. And so I've got a little bit bigger one on order. I have no idea when it'll get here. But I keep going back to the same brands. I love the Boundary Supply. They're just a little bit too big for me. And I'm having some issues with a bag I just got not too long ago. So the zipper pulls have already broken, which is fine. I'll put new zipper pulls on. That really does not, to me, that doesn't make or break a bag. If the zipper pulls break, just put different ones on them and go on. The rest of the bag is still absolutely in brand new condition. And I got a lot of, I got two, I don't know where they are right now, but I got two, I got a camera bag insert for the Boundary, and I got a cooler insert that goes up in the bottom. So it's a very versatile bag, and that would probably be one that I would consider taking if I went the backpack and camera insert route. Otherwise, the Timba has already got everything set up for the cameras, and then it has a little bit of room up top for whatever. Charles says, I use my Toomey bag and loaded with all my camera gear and laptop. Okay, so when you fly, you would take your Toomey, which is a dedicated camera bag. Would you also take a carry-on and checked luggage? Or would you just take a carry-on? I mean, I'm paying for all of them, so that's why I kind of figured I might as well use them all. But, walking through the airport, I don't know how far I'm going to have to walk. And I don't know that I want to carry like a duffel bag through the whole airport. I do like to check a bag because then you don't have to mess with it, and it's a done deal. I do have priority access boarding, so I'm not worried at all about the overhead bin compartment being full. So I can take a duffel bag, but I don't know that I need that much baggage. And as you're wheeling up to in Tulsa, as soon as you walk in the airport, you check in at the counter, and they take your checked bag right there, and then you go up escalator to where the gates are and the going through security and all that. So you're not really taking a bag very far. And then when you get off the plane in Las Vegas, same thing. You walk through the whole airport, and right before you go out the outside doors is the baggage claim, and then you just pick up your checked bag and go. So I like checking a bag because I don't have to mess with it. I just don't know that I need a carry-on. I guess that's my question. To carry on or not carry on? Yeah. Charles says, that bag goes with me and I place it inside my overhead. Some airlines have size limitations. Yes, they do. And I have measured, and both bags will fit. So the two I'm looking at would be the Boundary, which is an awesome backpack, and it has this little auxiliary compartment thing that attaches to the front of the bag, so it's considered, as long as it attaches, it's considered part of the bag, right? And it's not like hanging off. This has 3 attachment points, so it's actually attached. It gives you a little bit more room. So if I were to take a non-camera bag, it would probably be this one. If I take a dedicated camera bag, it will be the 10 by 16 because it fits my laptop. So as you can see, they're both about the same size, both fit the laptop really nice. This bag I would have to use inserts. This bag I would not have to use inserts. So so there's that. This one has way more organization than the Timba, but it's a trade-off. So and I don't want them so heavy that I don't want to wear them all the way through the airport, because it is a fairly long walk to get to the gate. Um, so I don't want it to be so heavy that I'm just like, I've got 50 pounds on my back, and the weight limit for checked bags is 50 pounds. They're not as apt to weigh your carry-on. As long as it fits in their little size constraint, and, it's not 200 pounds. Obviously, if you're having trouble carrying it, they would probably then say, we need to weigh that. But one of the videos I watched, I think it's in Norway, they're going to start weighing passengers. And between your body weight and your luggage, you're only allowed so many pounds, which I just thought was kind of funny, because realistically, someone who is bigger, their clothes are going to weigh more. So if you have a 300-pound person and they have to take 5 days worth of clothing, compared to someone who weighs 150 pounds, half their weight, their clothes are going to be smaller, and they're going for 5 days. So it just seems to me like it would all even out. Now, if you had everybody on the plane was 300 pounds, yeah, okay, I could see the problem. But that never happens. You're going to have people that are smaller and bigger, and, my clothes are a lot smaller and probably weigh a whole lot less than someone bigger than me, right? So I just, George Defined is a big guy. He's like 6'2" or 6'3" or something like that. And he weighs over 200 pounds. And he talks about having to pack, his big clothes in these cases that are really set up for small people. Like my packing cubes and everything are set up for more, not a big person, right? So, yeah, there is a lot of, but I just thought that was funny. They were going to weigh the person and the luggage, and you're only allowed so much weight. They haven't actually implemented that yet, but it should be interesting. And thank goodness it's not in the U.S. yet. Charles says, that bag goes with me and I place it in. Okay, I read that one. The backpack is considered a carry-on. Yes. No. On Allegiant, the backpack is considered a personal item. It can only be so big, and both those bags fit that restriction. The carry-on can be a little bit bigger, and it goes in the overhead, and your personal item goes under the seat. So, at least according to the rules that I read, and they have size restrictions and what have you. The backpacks both fit in the personal item size. I haven't really decided on a carry-on yet, but it can be a little bit bigger. And then your checked bag can weigh up to 50 pounds, and that includes the bag. So I have a rolling thing that, and then when I get there, so I'm going to have my son drop me off at the airport, and he'll help me get the luggage out of his car. And then when I get there, I get an Uber, and they load the luggage in their car for you. So I don't really have to pick the bag up very often. Okay, I take my backpack and a small check-in bag. Okay, so you like to check your bag too? Yes. It makes for such a, I really like the hands-free thing. And walking through an airport with just a backpack is fine, because then my hands are free. So I really do like that. I don't have to set anything on the ground. But every video I watch has told me if you check a bag, to be sure and put in 2 pair of underwear, 2 shirts, 2 pair of socks, in case they lose your luggage and it takes a couple of days to find it. So yeah, there's that. That's like the smallest packing cube. And I can throw that in my camera bag, or I've got a small duffel. I can throw it in there and then put that in the overhead. But I want the camera gear by my feet. I want that where you have to go through me to get to my camera gear. That's all I'm saying. Roy says, always carry on the gear you can't afford to lose. Yes. So that would be, my camera stuff would be at my feet. And, anything else is kind of, I mean, I would not want to have to stop at Las Vegas and buy clothes, but I certainly could. I would be upset if I only had my cell phone to take pictures when I get out there. So Roy says I'd better lay off the pizza to get on the next plane. Well, if you're teetering around the 300 mark, if you weigh 250, that means you can only take 50 pounds of something, including the bags. They count the weight of the bag in that 50 pounds. So, yeah. I think Jeff is on vacation right now, so he would be a good one to ask too. Charles says, I would use the bag without the inserts. Okay. TSA goes through everything, and using a bag with inserts makes it more difficult for TSA and slows you down considerably. Okay, so camera bag. So just stay with the camera bag, and I'm kind of leaning that direction anyway, just because it does by inherent by its nature, it provides it keeps the camera safe. So it provides padding, and I can fit all 3 of my cameras in there, and the chargers and the batteries and yada. So the only thing I might not be able to fit in there, well, no, I could fit that too. My little live stream bag. It's this big, so I think I could fit it in the top section. So, but when you get all that equipment in there, that bag is pretty good size, which is why I have never used it for my daily carry. I like my 10 liter, but the 10 liter is definitely not big enough for this trip. So, and the 14 liter that I have, I don't like. So there's that. If I ever get around to making a video on those bags, I was going to show the 10, the 14, the 16, and then sell the 14 because I don't like it. What airline are you flying? Allegiant. Yes, every time I go out there, they're based out of Los Angeles or Las Vegas. And so every time I go out there, now they only fly from Tulsa. They only fly on Monday and Friday, which restricts you a little bit. But I'm leaving on Friday and I'm coming back on Friday, and so it just fit really well. And I don't know if this is a tornado. Hang on. Yep, severe thunderstorm warning. Go figure. Um, we've been getting a lot of those. It's that time of year, right? So, what is 250 in kilos? I don't know. Randy, or if you're still awake, can you do pounds to kilos real quick? Because I don't know. Well, I can do that. Hey Siri, what is 250 pounds in kilos? 113.4. So yeah, if you're over, so I don't know what 300, I guess would be a little bit 120 maybe, but it's funny how they do. Like I think the U.S. is the only one that still uses the non-metric system because they do the liquids have to be 100 milliliter or less, which is 3.4 ounces. Why don't we just go with the metric? I've said that since I was in grade school. Metric makes so much more sense. Yeah, I have no idea why the U.S. is still holding out and going by pounds and inches, but you know, there we are. So, guys, I will be here next Thursday for sure. The Thursday after, I don't know about because, like I said, she doesn't have internet. And so, unless I go to someplace that does, the last time when I was in the hotel and I had to use my phone, it blew our data for the whole month. So, and I am going to need my data to get home. So I don't want to blow it for the whole month. So, yeah. But I may borrow her car and go sit somewhere, or maybe I can go to a neighbor's house. I wish she had internet. It would have made things so much easier. Especially as far as like me sending her stuff. I'm going to have to take and put several videos on memory sticks so that I can just plug them in the computer and play them when I get there. Because she doesn't have, she has a TV with local channels, but that's it. I can't get her to tell me if her TV has a USB port in the back. She doesn't know. So if it does, I can play them on the TV. But I'm not counting on that. So I'm going to take the laptop, put it in her lap, put the memory stick in it, and let her watch videos of the grandson and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So she's watched my children grow up. She's pretty much, I mean, from 17. So she's watched me become an old lady from a young teenager. So, yeah, it's I'm really, really looking forward to it. Business is king and metric is out of their comprehension. You know, it's just, metric is so much easier. I don't know how to go back and forth between the two without asking Siri, but the metric system itself is, it's just very simplistic, and it makes sense to this brain. So Randy says for the metric system, that is. Yes. Charles says use your hotspot. I did in St. Louis, and I think I was only on 45 minutes, and it used all of our data for the month. And it was funny because my son was like, well, when does it restart? And it just so happened it restarted the very next day. So it wasn't any big deal. But I think with this being in the middle of the month, it probably wouldn't. And I want to make sure that I have enough data to get home. So, yeah, it is what it is. I may try to go live on my phone. I think I can. I'm not 100% sure, but it wouldn't be a very long one. It would just be, you know, she has a beautiful view from her house, and so it would be nice if I could, but yeah, we have unlimited data, but that they say it's unlimited, but it's you get up to a certain level for this speed, and then they drop the speeds to where it's almost not usable. So my son relies on it for his work, and so I don't want to mess that up, and then I'm going to need it to get home, and I don't want to mess that up. So we'll see. We'll see. But guys, thank you for your input. Jim, if you watch this on the replay, because you travel all the time, let me know what your thoughts are. A lot of people are switching from checked bags to carry-ons, and I just think I would be more comfortable checking my bag and not having to mess with that and then picking it up when I get to Las Vegas. So, yeah, I'm hugely looking forward to this, and I'll let you guys know, you know, how it goes, and hopefully by next Thursday I will be pretty much packed, and I'll let you know what I've decided on which bags I'm taking. So, got to go. Good night, everyone. Randy says, like Charles said, ditto. Yep, me too. Me too. That pizza's sounding really good, but I need to go eat something besides pizza. So, love you all so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm up to 700 and something subscribers. Couldn't have done it without you guys. You've been with me every step of the way. So thank you so much. And I will see you guys next week. Good night, everybody.